Good evening. How are you doing? Hope you're good. Hope you're fine. Hope you're beautiful. I want to officially welcome us to the new semester. And I believe you're all doing fine. I believe you're all doing great. Well, so far so good. What has been happening? What has been happening? Well, in case you've not really been updated, here is a little bit of update for you. One, result has been released. Result has been released, and for some people, it has been mixed experiences, both good, bad, ugly. For some, it has been perfect all the way. For some, it has been so sad. Whatever it is, one thing I want you to just take out of that experience is that you can't just continue to dwell on your past success. Okay, there's always a remark that we give people when they have done so well in any test. Do not rest on your laurels. So it's still very much important at this level, no matter where you are already in this journey. Don't relax. Don't have this I have arrived mentality. So I don't have to put in so much work. Man, if you start thinking that way, before long, you start going down. And for those that are on the opposite side, perhaps you're not so impressed and you feel disappointed. Well, they always say something, you can always make a fresh start. Yes, it's never too late to make a fresh start, and you can't continue to dwell on your past failures, okay? Because time keeps changing. So if you just keep beating yourself about last semester results, man, this semester is already going. Okay, what are you doing? What actions are you taking so that you don't end up where you're coming from? That's what matters now. So you should be doing something, dust yourself up and go, 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 go. Okay, the clock is ticking, it is not waiting. So this semester will be on the go. There will be so much of activities. Like this semester is a go, 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 go semester. So if you look at your screen, you can see that we are having a course to discuss this moment, which is use of English and communication skill GST 102. Now, most of you have paid your school fees. I know that I'm speaking to people that have paid their school fees already. So if you are one of those that have actually paid their fees, definitely you will need to subscribe for your tutorial, book your place if you will. If you have not, the summary club has been launched already. People have already started trooping in for this semester's summary reading. So just make sure that you are part of them. If you have not subscribed, I'm going to drop a link on the description section of this video so that you will get to join us. All right. Okay. And then don't forget other things that we offer. All right. Some of them, time will not really permit me to speak about them here, but whatever it is that you need, as far as it is a learners support oriented, the boss educational is where to go. All right. Now, this course that we are looking at, or we are treating at this moment, is a second semester honor level course for students in the National Open University of Nigeria. I'm going to drop the link for you to get the course material just in case you need the course material. I'm going to drop a link so you can go there and get the material for more detailed um, study. And of course, for the preparation of your examination, you need to study the material provided by the school and then get additional materials for broader or deeper understanding of what the course material is saying. One of the materials that you can always bank on is our summary. So this is just a comprehensive summarization of some of the key things you have in the course material. It doesn't hurt to start using this as early as possible because most time people leave some of these materials behind and expect to just digest everything a day or two to the examination, which does not always work out fine. So I'll be taking my time to be uploading series upon series of our summary analysis, so that while you are going about your normal routines, you are indirectly and consciously preparing yourself for that which is yet to come. Talking about your examination. And then before I move on, if you have not subscribed, please try to subscribe and hit the notification bell. Now, in your first semester, when you did GST 101, there was a lot of talk around listening and reading. Most of the discussion that you had in that particular course was focused on listening and reading. And listening and reading is a communication skill that I term the receptive skills, right? So when you are reading or listening, you are actually receiving information. You are not being active. You are not the one dishing out the instruction or communicating a particular thought. Yeah, even when you're not talking, you're communicating quite all right, but the idea, the message is not coming from you to the other party. I believe you understand. So when you are listening or reading, you are receiving somebody's content, you are digesting it, you are absorbing it, and from whatever it is you're able to gather, you can take actions. But in this case, you are going to be looking more at speaking and writing. So the skills that you are meant to master and develop in this semester is your writing and speaking skills. So you should be able to share what you have. If you have something to share with your world, if you have something to share with people around you, you're going to be learning firsthand how to do it. There are many people that has so much to offer. There's a lot of things in them, but they don't know how to. Or even when they get to do it, they don't do it so well. And the meaning or the full meaning behind what they are trying to pass across is not being grabbed. So it's very, very important for you to know how to pass your information. And even when you know what to do and how to do it, you also need to understand the people you are talking to, the people you are reaching out to, and their nature, their exposure, their understanding will also go a long way to influence how you go about delivering what you have come to deliver. All right. So please, 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 I beg us in the mighty name of God, let's pay attention this semester. Okay. Pay attention to your materials and also practice. Practice a lot of speaking, practice a lot of writing. Okay. Now, what is paragraph? Paragraph is the first topic you have in your course material. All right. So in paragraph writing, they're going to be exposing you to one of the key essentials, okay, when it comes to writing. Yes, for you to be able to write well, you need to understand paragraph and how to use it, how to apply it, how it helps you to be able to pass across the information in a very powerful way and add color to what you are saying. You know, paragraph is very, very important, and this particular course takes time over different units to explain to us what paragraph is all about. So we are seeing a question here. What is paragraph and what is the central idea of a paragraph? Now, a paragraph is a piece of writing unified by a central controlling idea or theme. The central controlling idea is called the topic. So in the course material, this was how it was being presented. All right. The 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 the, the central, okay, or controlling idea is the what is the topic. That means a piece of writing. Do you understand? And this piece of writing could have not have been connected, all right? But because it's a paragraph, there must be a connection. So that particular thing that makes all these different pieces come together to agree is what we call a topic. So whenever there is a paragraph, there will always be a topic. Okay, there will always be something about those different pieces of writing that binds them together. So it is the topic that gives direction, that gives meaning, that gives style and balance to the paragraph. That is why we call it what? Topic of the paragraph. Now, how can you develop the central theme of a paragraph? All right. Since we now understand that, yes, there is a topic, all right, the topic alone doesn't make a paragraph. Topic is there, it binds, it controls, it unifies, it synthesizes, it does a lot, okay, as the central theme of a paragraph. But it is not the only constituent part of a paragraph. There are other things in a paragraph, okay, that works with the topic sentence in order for it to make a complete sense. Now, having said that, I will need you to understand something, that when you have a paragraph, there will always be a topic, and that topic will need to be communicated through what they call a topic sentence. So the topic sentence is actually going to the topic sentence is actually going to you know, communicate to the reader what the topic of that paragraph is all about. Now, in addition to that topic sentence, there will be other sentences. Remember that a paragraph is uh, pieces of writing, all right? A piece of writing. So there are different parts to it. So that particular topic sentence, we have other sentences which we call the supporting details to the topic sentence. Do you understand? So those supporting details are actually the part of the paragraph that develops the topic of that paragraph. So the supporting details actually develops the topic sentence, and there are different ways you can go with that. Okay, there are different ways you can actually establish that fact. There are many ways to go about it. All right, and this particular question will be giving us an answer to it. And so, having said all this, I want you to know that you can develop the central theme of a paragraph by adding more information, all right, by explanation, through examples, illustrations, and more. All right, you do this, you add all this to the idea, okay, expressed in the topic sentence. So all these things that I just mentioned, illustration, explanation, and more, they develop the topic. The topic is that idea in the topic sentence. So as I explained to you, I'm doing all this explanation because I'm not using the full material. I'm using a comprehensive summarized version of the material. So there is need for me to be more detailed so that you can understand. All right. So we have a topic. Please, we have a topic. Topic is the idea, is the central theme. Then we have a topic sentence. This is, you know what is a sentence? Group of words that makes a complete sense. And of course, it must have a subject and a predicate. All right. Now, in a paragraph is made up of different sentences. That is basically what you need to know. There are different sentences in a paragraph. You could have up as much as 5 sentences, 6 sentences, 3, 4, depending on the type of paragraph and the weight of what it is trying to communicate. However, you need to know something that a paragraph will always express a particular thought. So it's just an idea that a paragraph is going to communicate to you. That idea is a topic, and that topic is hidden in what they call the topic sentence. So among the various sentences you have in a paragraph, there will be one sentence that will be known as a topic sentence. And this topic sentence is going to be connected to the rest of the sentences in that paragraph. How they get to connect with themselves is what we call the development of the topic sentence. So it can be connected to those sentences because they are explaining, giving more information about him or it. All right, being the words topic sentence. There could be examples of topic sentence. All right. Chika went to the market to buy fruits, such as. So, when you start hearing different names of fruits, of course, you should know that all those fruits, okay, are all names of the fruits that was being bought. So, you know that the main thing this person wants you to know is that a certain person wants the market to get something, fruits, and what are they? So the whole lengthy explanation is or details that was being given afterwards is just to what develop further understanding of the main idea of that particular write-up. All right. Now, what does coherence mean in a paragraph? Now, when you're writing a paragraph, there are different skills you need to have. The same way they told you that when you are listening, there are different skills involved. The same way you are writing a paragraph, there are different what they call it. There are different qualities or skills you need to have and apply. And one of those quality is what they call the use of transitional devices. So when you use transitional devices, these are words that helps you move from one point in the paragraph to the other. Even away from writing paragraph, when you are making any write-up at all, you need transitional devices. Okay, you need to be able to transition to move from one phase or from one level to another. Okay, and when you actually apply these transitional devices and very well, what it does is give coherence to your write-up. So when what this means is that your paragraph, your write-up, whatever it is well um connected. There's a proper link. All right. It's not like you jumping from A to Z, then from Z to Y. No, there is order. Everything moves in the right sequence. All right. That is what transitional devices do. And of course, their function is what we describe as coherence. Okay. So coherence is in a paragraph means that the writer takes the reader logically and smoothly from one idea to the next. So logically, that means it's moving with wisdom, okay, with understanding, with clarity, and it is smooth. There is no stumbling, there is no stuttering. Everything is just going the way it should. Now, how can you achieve coherence in a paragraph? Okay, you achieve this through transitional devices, which I just explained now. Okay, transitional devices between sentences. So you have a sentence and then you want to move to the next sentence to use transitional devices. And at the same time, when people are reading transitional devices, I've taught this over and I've always told us that when you have transitional devices, one of the things it does is, it kind of jots the reader back to life. Perhaps you are reading a passage or a paragraph and you reading how do I put it so you understand? You know, every word, every word and every sentences can never, every word and every sentence can never have equal value or equal you know, equal impact. There will always be some words, there will always be some sentences, you know, there will always be something or some group of things in every paragraph or passage that will stand out, that will seem louder and bolder. It is normal. All right. So when you as a reader, you are reading sometimes because there are certain parts of the write up that kind of, you know, has stronger sense of connection to you. You will be very, very, very focused and alert when you are in those parts of that passage. But when you move away from that, you just get into other parts that look like fillers, you might start drifting away. It happens a lot. Let me use the Bible for instance. When you are reading the Bible, there are portions of the Bible that when you open, it will be so captivating. The storytelling and everything will be so, you know, so strong. You can even be seeing yourself in that story, picturing yourself, you know, playing a character in that given scenario. All right. Now, that is not how it's always going to be when you're reading the Bible. Because there are some portions of the Bible you will get to. In fact, except if something happened, perhaps they are being mandated for some very, very strong reasons to read those places. You won't even bother opening it. Okay. There are some books of the Bible I know that I have read and read and read and read over time. And there are others I've not even opened. In fact, if I hear it alone, I just feel like because of how I am wired, let me put it that way, my nature, I feel more alive when I read certain other, you know, portions. It's not that those other one I've not read, or I don't read well is bad, or I don't, you know, I have issues with them. No, but I don't feel the same thing I feel when I read these other ones I'm more comfortable with. Okay, I don't feel the same sort of energy. I don't. All right. See, well, the word of God is the word of God. I don't want people to come at me and start saying all manner of things. The word of God is the word of God, and it is powerful. All right. But when you take the scriptures, you will see that the style of writing and what they are communicating at different chapters and different books are different. All right. So sometimes in certain situations, you can find yourself, you know, feeling bored or not really, you know, feeling like reading some portions. Even sometimes you can even not feel like reading everything at all. But let's just assume that as a child of God that you are, every time you pick the word of God, you should feel alive in the spirit. All right. But why am I saying all these things? Every time you read, there is always this kind of um, you know, downtime that comes. It's when we are reading something very, very lengthy. There's always this kind of downtime, you know, whereby you just feel like, let me just be looking at you, just looking at the material, all right. But at some point, there are some words you will that will hit you, and you quickly adjust yourself, and you might even start going back to the places you have gone before, but you were not able to pick some things, so you can be able to catch up because of that particular word. That is what transitional device for you. Even when we are listening to people speaking, it happens a lot. You are in a conference or a meeting and somebody is speaking and possibly speaking over your head. You're not understanding what that person is saying and you're lost. And then all of a sudden you heard secondly, something in you will be like, secondly, okay, something is coming. Maybe the first points they mentioned, or yeah, I don't know, yeah, he, she, or they. mentioned, right? You got it. And then every detail that they shared, so as to be able to explain that particular point, you missed it. Maybe you hear that secondly, right? Something in you will start working. You start trying to, make sense of where they are coming from, and where we are now, and where we are going. All right. It kind of brings you back to life and makes you stay in that moment. That is one of the things that transitional devices do. So it helps you understand the connection between where you're coming from, where you are, and prepares you in anticipation for what is to come. Right? So, what is the simplest way to define a term in writing? Right? The simplest way to define a term is by giving a synonym or placing the word in general class and then distinguishing it from others in the class. So we saw that there are different ways to build a topic sentence, and one of the ways to build a topic sentence is by definition. So by definition, we can build a topic sentence. When I say definition, I mean the meaning. Definition has to do with stating the meaning of something, literal meaning or even figurative meaning of a word, sentence, or whatever. All right. And definition can actually be used as a means of what developing the topic of a paragraph. All right. And when you want to define, there are many ways to define. Right, that is what I'm trying to explain here. But among those many ways, the simplest one is to what give a synonym or placing the word in a general class and then distinguishing it from others in the class. So what you are trying to do when you're defining is to make this particular word stand out. Okay, separate it from other words. Make us know that this is a cup, right? And a cup will it be? Nothing else is a cup. This is how a cup looks like. So for you to be able to communicate this effectively, you can do that by putting this particular word or particular figure you are trying to define amidst other figures that are similar. All right. If you put it amidst unsimilar, characters, it will be easy for you to differentiate and spot it out and say this is what this is, right? But when you have it in the midst of similar objects or characters, then it becomes more meaningful when you can find a way to tell it apart. All right. So this is a very simple way to actually, use definition rather to develop the topic of a paragraph. Okay. And also remember that aside from placing it in a given synonym, right, you can also use this particular word in a general class. When you say general class, use it in a way that it cuts across every area. All right, it goes across board. Then after that, after you must have used in a general class, you can now distinguish it and you know separate it from every other word in that general class. All right, very very important. Please note this. So when you are writing your paragraph or when you are trying to define anything, you will have better understanding of how to go about it. Now, what are some examples of formal language in communication? So we have formal language, we have informal language. So when you talk about formal has to do with standard, right? Procedure, organization, right? Business. That is what formal has to do with. Then when it is informal, it is very, very relaxed. Okay. It is not too too complicated or full of sophistication. All right. And now, when you are communicating, even when you are just, how do I put it now? Going about your everyday life, once you find yourself in a formal setting, it means that there is a particular way you need to start behaving. There is a particular standard that you need to what operate in. That shows formal. All right. So you won't just use words you use everywhere and anyhow in a formal setup. There is a proper way of speaking, proper way of behaving, proper way of conducting yourself, proper way of looking at people and all. All right. So I want us to understand that. Now, formal language is often used in official reports, business letters, legal documents, and more. It is associated with fields like business law and government. This is where you have formal language. So, in a school, like our school, we use formal language to communicate. We use formal language, right? Now, the last question we'll be taking for this session, okay, is how do formal and informal letters differ in writing style and context? How do they differ? Now, you already know that when you're writing a formal letter, you're writing to business organization, the government, writing to organizations that are for a given purpose. Maybe you are looking for a job or something like that. And there is a particular style, there is a particular choice of words, there's a particular system you follow, all right? Way to address, way to marshal out your points, your complaints, your needs, how to end it, and all. There's a standard. That is what formal education. Sorry, that is formal letter, right? Then the informal, the other one is just a reverse of what you have informal. All right. So in informal, you're at liberty to be yourself, address your recipient by their pet names or names that you know them with on personal levels and stuff like that. So here we have that informal letters are varied in their styles and content, often resembling extended long-distance private conversation. Formal letters are generally more set in their styles and physiology, usually used for official purposes. So, formal letters are like there's a style, there's a standard. Okay, there's some sense of authority and strength coming from the lenses in which the recipient sees the sender. All right. When it comes to the informal letters, okay, it just looks like a normal conversation, but it is between two people or two parties that are separated so much by space. All right. So that's just a key difference that I want us to pick, especially as it concerns to this course. So if you have watched till this level, it means you are really, really, really a soldier of the Boss Army and you are enjoying what we are doing. If you're enjoying it, give me something to share about in the comment section. You can drop a love emoji or a thank you, boss, whatever it is you want to drop. You're welcome. And then don't forget to subscribe to this channel, share with your friends, invite them, tell them to come to classes and join us. All right. Don't forget to book me for your TMA. Don't forget to subscribe for our summary club. Don't forget to also refer people for my programs. All right. This is how far we can go today, and I am more than grateful to have you all. God bless you bigly. Once again, I am Ukadike Ifeanyichukwu Stewart, popularly known as the boss. See you in a jiffy.